Haster getting hit with the succubus. CC breaking out pretty quickly. Diabolicus goes in for immediate reflect, trying to see if he can prevent Haster from maybe locking him out. Mortical is sent in. Soulfire right after. Blasted out Haster together with Infernal around the corner, trying to see if he can waddle away. Cannonball loaded up. Oh my god, Haster does have a defensive procking immediately as soon as his health kind of starts to get low. Shadow Crusher around the corner. He's trying to see if he can barrage and mortar Diabolicus, but Diabolicus is literally explosion incarnate. Double portal, lots of damage, lots of output. Haster may be in trouble, maybe Disperse play. He does go for Disperse. Is it enough? Like he still could die through the Disperse. It is a lot of damage from these portals, who is still channeling the Shadow Bolt. Goodness, oh my god. Diabolicus just a master of barrages, man. One man cannon. Chicago gonna be up next. The Succubus trying to see if he gets some damage on. Chicago does go for the Alien Blast, but Diabolicus got a pretty big hit of his own. Quite a bit of damage out of the Warlock, going in for back-to-back conflagrations, trying to go for instant cast. With anything that Earth Elemental is doing, it is definitely giving you those free backdraft procs, which could be quite good. Diabolicus is going to summon a fresh new Succubus, because it looks like Chicago is just so focused on the Succubus, wants to prevent any of those CCs from the Succubus seduce. Big Lightning Bolts to follow, could do a lot of fire damage. Double Fire Raptor is available. Big Sunder maybe could get a couple of Lava Lashes back-to-back. As long as you trap Diabolicus on Shadow Flame, I think it'll be golden. Big Chaos Bolt, but it does have a wall with it. One of the portals is out right now to press Chicago, porting on top of him with a lasso, making out of that one with a trinket, as Chicago does burn in a full wall. Soulfire is out for Diabolicus. That's got a pretty big slow in Chicago with a stun. Bonzo Fall to follow, trying to see if he can get himself a better angle, but Chicago is just going to try to see if he can back up out. Using that Maelstrom, using the mana and line of sight, trying to prevent as much damage from Diabolicus as they can. Mostly playing defensive on this one, but at some point we'll have to get aggressive. Maybe Chicago is fishing for the better Raptors, because if you get Lightning Bolt Raptors, you can go for like double zaps with a lasso, which Raptors will also increase the damage of lasso. Try to see if you can catch up to Diabolicus at some point, but he's just constantly perma-slowed. Not much you can really do unless you blast out yourself out into maybe Ghost Strike perform? Diabolicus does go for the Succubus. You see, as he gets rooted, got himself a Bonzo Fall in Chicago. Lightning Lasso to follow right after, does get himself a pretty big shield. That's going to be reflected on top of it. Chicago back it up for just a moment. Big Cannibal trying to load up by Diabolicus, porting on top of Chicago with a Mortal to follow. Does try to go for an intro, but doesn't quite get it. Diabolicus has a lot of haste already. Shadow Fury, uninterruptible, stun, maybe a Soulfire. Does go for a full Soulfire. Chicago could be in a bad spot. Does Diabolicus have portals to open? Looks like he doesn't. Using Gnomish Racial to break out of any kind of slows and roots. Trying to see if he can blast at Chicago. Chaos Bolt for one portal, Shadowy Bolts for another portal. Bonzo fell around the corner off of that Succubus CC. Does he have the damage? He just hits an angle. Mad Burst on Chicago. What was that? Porting on top of the Shaman. Does it take him out right then and there? Maybe. Hold on a second. Chicago took a lot of hits out of nowhere, but Diabolicus also took a lot of hits in his health. Lasso, is that enough to take him down right here? Does Chicago have enough here? Leaping in. Reflect up for Diabolicus. Does go for a bit of a heal. Backdraft back on Chicago into yet another fresh new Succubus. What is going on? The damage on these two, it looks like they're kind of passive, and then all of a sudden the health bars are just in danger, in jeopardy. All of a sudden, Bonzo fell just getting some freebie damage for Diabolicus. He doesn't even have line of sight of Chicago, and he's able to just get a couple of cheesy hits. Boarding a little bit early. Chicago recovered a little bit of health. Succubus CC right afterwards with a Soulfire to follow. Shadow Fury right after. Maybe a big lockdown. One portal is available. Couple of count flags to follow. Chicago trying to see if he can back up out of there. Going to be a grounding totem, but it looks like it's not able to ground down the Chaos Bolt. Second bolt right after. Chicago could be in big trouble. Do they go down here? Still a Shadowy Bolt portal attacking him a little by little. Lots of sustained damage a little over time. Maybe break the Bonzo Fell. Lasso instead. Trinkets. Reflect available. Chicago, do they just end him right here? Maybe. Oh, Diabolicus does go in. Get himself a backdraft proc, I think, from one of the Raptors. And is able to eliminate Chicago fairly quickly. Atomic. No. Flavor of the Month is going to be up next. Spear onto Diabolicus. Just try to see if he can execute him down. Leaping into a portal, but doesn't come out alive on the other end. Zabuza is going to be up next. Blaze Storm to follow. That's going to be full not Dark Pack. Full Battle Stance. I won't call it Dark Pack. Full Battle Stance for the Warrior. Does have a parry. He's going to go for a trinket out of that stun. Battle Stance. Try to see if he can take down Zabuza. May need a bubble. Whoa. Looks like he decided to use the Global and Divine Toll instead of a bubble. Light Messiah going to be up next. Immediate Stormbolt hitting him right after. Got himself a fear, as it's going to be Flavor of the Month going in for a more defensive stance. Got himself a bit of a heal, but looks to going to back away from Light Messiah for just a second. I think he just maybe needs to get him in the slow, maybe put a bleed on the guy, and just walk away from him. Looks like he's gonna go for the big lead before the blind comes out. His light does go in for a full final wreck. I feel like as soon as you see the final wreck and wings, you know the man is gonna want to do something. Battle stance for Flavor may not be the best time to do it. It does go down as Light Messiah is able to take him out. That is super unfortunate. He did go in for battle stance. I think was trying to see if he can go for like a Strongbolt setup, but he just couldn't do it fast enough. Demoniac quickly up next with a bit of a double ambushes onto Light Messiah. Get a shot to follow. Does go for a disarm with a killing spirit after, as it's going to be a blessing of protection for a paladin. Demoniac looking for a bit of a reset behind the pillar. Light catching up as much health as he can. Get a shot onto Light Messiah. Does Demoniac have enough damage here to break through the Paladin? Full stun. Got himself a bit of a Seraphim. Maybe potentially proc or actually unused Seraphim. Not really sure. Rogue still in the game though. Does he have evasion? No, but he got a lot of pistol shots, a lot of ambushes back to back. Trying to be very careful with the eye for an eye as it does reflect damage back to him. Or counterattack him. Get a shot yet again for the Rogue. Trying to see if he can get a setup versus Light Messiah. Disarm to follow. Doesn't make out of it very quickly, but it's going to be a trinket, which is punished by a Hammer of Justice by Light Messiah. Demoniac trying to see if he can get himself just a little bit of damage versus the Paladin, but can he do it? Just needs one more ambush. If he can maybe manage it. Vanish. Oh, goes in for a Vanish pistol combo. Wants to make sure that he can maybe eliminate him, and Chilpa's not gonna let this Rogue out of his sights. Pick up used, but 9 minutes after the duel, there's nothing Demoniac can do. Just goes in for a blind stun, catches him. He had to, yeah. Okay, that's so BM. That is so BM. Just teabagging right in front of him. Who does that, Shield? Paige gonna be up next. Major bubble right now. Blind on all these pets, trying to see if he can survive this, looking for a bit of a heal. That is a lot of armies of undead still surrounding the guy. Mace into bubble. Bubble now. Bubble, there it goes. Chippas does have a pre-AMS ready. Try to see if he can use that to walk away from Paige. My goodness, the Paladin is just starting off on the back foot with high dampening. That's a tough one, man. That's a rough one. Maybe he can get Chilpas down. He's going to have to be very, very careful with the CC. Chilpas does not have a trinket, so maybe a stun lock blind combo could do the trick. Does go in for stun. Maybe has the play. Does he do it here? Trying to see if he can crack through the death as defenses. Got himself a Seraphim. Stun. Trinkets out of it immediately. Chilpas maybe in a bit of trouble. Does have a dark pack. Summon up a whole army of the dead. If you can just let Paige sit there with the army and not let him go anywhere, he's actually going to be able to do quite a bit of damage. Needs himself a dark pack right now. Stunned by the pet for just a second. AMS up and oh! I think I might have actually went for the full executed build. I think there might have been a Soul Reaper there at the end. Well done, well done. Diabolicals are 2, showing us how hard destruction can hit. Light Messiah slamming 1 kill. We got Chilpas coming back, slapping 2. Well done, boys. I like it. Well done. Longer games this time compared to the 6-minute games we had at the very start of the night.